Imagine hearing Raliv, Ghalib, Ya Saliv. Convert, die, or leave, but leave your women behind from mosque loudspeakers. Imagine your friends for generations enter your homes, kill your family, rape your women, and then burn down your homes. Imagine being called back to the valley, gang raped, and then cut into pieces at a sawmill by an electric saw. This is the reality of Kashmiri Hindus buried for decades. These facts and many more like these are now coming to your television screens to shock you about an inconvenient reality that remained under wraps. Bringing you some of these harsh realities are Vivek Agnihotri, producer of the Kashmir Files, now with Kashmir Files Unreported. Also with me on the broadcast, Manoj Raghuvanshi, actor, anchor and producer. Then with the news track, Manoj Raghuvanshi was one of those brave few correspondents who was there in Kashmir exposing those radical Islamist terrorists. And with a deep sense of respect, I want to introduce Utpal Kol, survivor of that Kashmir Hindu genocide and exodus of the Kashmiri Hindus from their land of birth. Vivek Agnihotri, I want to begin by asking you, sir, why Kashmir Files Unreported after Kashmir Files?
Actually, Gaurav, we started with Kashmir Unreported. We wanted to make a documentary, but then we realized India does not have tradition of consuming documentaries. So we decided that we should make the feature film, and so that it can go global and can influence policymakers. So we decided to make the film to use it as a soft power to tell the world what happened with Kashmiri Hindus in that genocide. But then a lot of people started raising some doubts. So I said, okay, if that is the case, let's put all the raw data in front of them, all the video testimonials which Government of India should have done. And we have been showing Kashmir Unreported for a long time to a lot of people in power and media and influencers. And yesterday we launched Kashmir Unreported, the docu-series in Delhi at Mandi House, and Justice Neelkant Ganjuji's daughter was also there. And as we came out, we got news from Government of India that they have reopened these cases. Now Kashmir Unreported will become that evidence for the government to act, and my wish is if Chief Justice Chandrachud ji, before retiring, if he can, looking at Kashmir Unreported, take suo moto cognizance of this thing. So Kashmir Unreported basically is that documentary evidence of Hindu genocide in Kashmir, which earlier was captured by Manoj ji, but then people didn't care about it. India Today did it, am I right?
Yep, the news track.
News track did it, and now we have done it.
Manoj Raghuvanshi, you reported terrorists like Bitta Karate killing innocent Kashmiri Hindus. Why is this story so important today?
Now that people have seen the Kashmir Files and Bitta Karate is the prime character in that. He's called Commander Bitta. And the things that he had said in the interview, very intelligently, Vivek ji has woven those critical statements, those dangerous, deadly, killer statements in his film, which shook up the conscience of the nation, which was sleeping for all these years since Jan 1990, until the film was released last year. So everyone, in fact, Vivek ji's main achievement is that he has shown the film in swimming against the tide, against the political discourse, against the silence of the media, and against the anti-campaign by Bollywood, negative campaign by Bollywood.
I'll come to that aspect in just a moment. So this is the inconvenient truth of Kashmir that remained buried. Utpal Kol, your family had a library of over 5,000 books. Kashmir has always been known as the land of knowledge, land of Ma Sharda, the land of Rishi Kashyap. What did you undergo, sir? What did your family and lakhs like you undergo?
It is very tragic, and I cannot explain you what genocide Kashmiri Pandits not only felt, but they have gone. my 4 family members were killed and 2 of my cousins got blessed, but they were saved. Our house was burnt, and like me, 20,000 Kashmiri Pandit houses were burnt, 450 temples were destroyed, and nearly 2,000 Kashmiris Pandits became victims of genocide. They were killed. But there were people in Srinagar, in Delhi, they never wanted this truth should come out. And that was the biggest tragedy. We tried our best at that time. I was a student leader of Kashmir University at that time. I went straightway to Delhi, met national leaders, tried to explain them, but I don't know what was happening. They were silent. I once again say that our intelligence agencies knew everything. Our RAW, IB, and other intelligence agencies knew everything, but there were some elements in Delhi or in Srinagar, they were not allowing the real administration to function. So it was anarchy, everything was collapsed.
Were mosque loudspeakers, I mean, you know, you've read about it, you've heard about it, but you witnessed mosque loudspeakers being used to rant Raliv Galiv Ya Saliv. What happened? Can you tell us what happened?
19th and 20th January
1990. 1920 January.
And Kashmiri Pandits thought that will be the last night. We will not see the sunrise next morning. Nearly 15,000 mosques in Kashmir at one time on loudspeakers started La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasul Allah, yahan kya banega Nizami Ustaba, yahan kya banega Pakistan, Indian dogs go back. And then for Kashmiri Hindus, you just join us, or what we say in Kashmiri, relive, giliv, ya tsaliv. Either you leave or mix with us, or we will finish you off. And so it was such a tragedy, it was such a genocide. Whole of world was silent. Human rights organizations were silent, and nobody came to us. Like what is happening now in Manipur, what is happening in other places. So all these opposition leaders are going to these places, but nobody came to see us in Kashmir. And when we were in tents in 45-degree temperature, no one come to see us there.
I want to ask about why was there this conspiracy of silence in just a moment, but let's talk about a couple of individuals first. We spoke of Bitta Karate, Vivek Agnihotri, Yasin Malik. Yasin Malik stands accused of killing 4 Indian Air Force personnel. Will the testimonials that you're bringing out through Kashmir Files Unreported finally help bring to justice those who were hailed, and God alone knows why, as Gandhians in our country?
See, it's very, very unfortunate, and I think the problem is that in this country we have always celebrated the evil. Okay, first when I was young, I don't know, you would know, we used to celebrate dacoits a lot, and we used to open doors for them to be in mainstream, and they would dictate terms to politics and corporates. Then we started in films, dacoits you have seen, Sunil Dutt and all. Then we started celebrating Naxals. Then we have celebrated mafia, and then we started celebrating terrorists in this country. Yasin Malik, I have a testimonial. Okay, somebody who has seen him, he came to a shop, and some little boy he saw was a Hindu boy, and he point blank shot a 4-year-old boy.
And you have this on camera?
Yes.
An eyewitness saying Yasin Malik shot dead a 4-year-old child?
Yes, who has seen with eyes. I have witnesses who have seen with their eyes that he killed
Indian Air Force
officers. Neelkant Ganju.
Yes.
There are people, I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm overwhelmed. That's why, see, I've got goose pimples right now. Your camera can see these. All right. I'm really, really speaking from my soul. Kashmiri Muslim people of that time have told me that they have seen with their eyes that Yasin Malik shot Neelkant Ganju. I have shown in my film that scene exactly the way it happened, but last minute I just kept it out. But I'm going to release it tomorrow itself because this case is. Kashmiri Muslims talk about the barbarian and the inhuman, cruel acts of Yasin Malik. Kashmiri Muslims talk about it, but they keep quiet because they are equally scared of terrorists like
Yes.
everybody else is.
Yes.
Yasin Malik was invited to the Prime Minister's house,
Yes.
and not just invited for a meeting. मुझे ये लोगों ने बताया कि जब आते थे तो काजू किशमिश और सारे बोला जाता था कि कश्मीरी अखरोट ही देना उनको और कुछ मत देना.
मतलब जिस आदमी को जेल की काल कोठरी में डालना चाहिए था, उस आदमी को काजू खिलाया जा रहा था.
बिरयानी एंड यखनी.
बिरयानी और यखनी खिलाई जा रही थी. मतलब ये तो आतंकवादियों को आपने तो देखा, मतलब मनोज रघुवंशी, यू वर ऑन ग्राउंड सर, आपने तो देखा किस तरह से बिरयानी जा रही थी आतंकवादियों के लिए कश्मीर घाटी में. यू हैव सीन दिस फर्स्ट हैंड. बट टेल मी दिस, for 3 decades plus, has justice been denied, and finally is there hope there will be justice?
It has been denied, yes, and justice delayed is justice denied, so it has been delayed and therefore denied. एक generation तो बीती गई ना. But now that with this Kashmir Files Unreported and the beginning of the reopening of those cases, now there is hope that at least now let the process begin. It may take some time, but if it begins and people are convinced that they will get justice, they will come forward, they will contribute. And what the J&K administration has asked today, कि भाई आप लोग जो जो जानते हैं बताइए, आपका नाम पता गुप्त रखा जाएगा, don't worry. So people will come forward and tell. I am very hopeful that God willing justice will be done.
और मैं तो I am willing to, on record, I am willing to plead this to Honorable Chief Justice of India Chandrachud ji, that Supreme Court said we don't have evidences, it's a very old case, that's why we can't open it. I'm saying he has the power to take suo motu cognizance of this, and if he needs evidence with our cost, I will fly down all the victims whose fathers were cut into 50 pieces, whose daughters were raped. I will bring those people with my cost and I'll present them in front of Chief Justice of India, Shri Chandrachud ji, so that he can take suo motu with so many evidences. I don't know what stops him. I'm saying it on camera, on TV. Even after that, he's not willing to take suo motu case. Then I think that judiciary somewhere.
No, they should. They shouldn't. कौल साहब, आपको उम्मीद है? मतलब 30 साल बीत गए. It's been 30 years. Are you hopeful? A flicker of hope that you will get justice one day, and does justice truly mean that you will get back to the valley?
For last 33, 34 years, every day, day and night, Kashmiri Pandits, whether they are living in Jagati, in Jammu, or in Delhi, or in different parts of India or abroad, everybody is getting sleepless nights that we don't get justice. And we are working and trying to go to the Supreme Court or different courts, but last 2 years back, when Vivek Agnihotri ji's The Kashmir Files came, a new hope came to us, and we are thankful to him and Pallavi and his team that a great job was done, and we think half the work was done. And we requested him that you have lot of material, let this evidence come before the world, and now we will go with him to the Supreme Court and show this evidence, see what is happening to what has happened to our community. Now it is up to you to deliver justice. And I yesterday tweeted, justice delayed is not always justice denied, because when yesterday in the auditorium I asked Urmila Raina that would you like to say something, she said yes, I want my father should get justice. And after it was such an emotional thing, after half an hour we got the information that Nilkant Ganju's case has been reopened. And I think all the victims and compensation, not only we have lost nearly $50 billion. Kashmiri Pandits have lost $50 billion. Houses, land, yes, business. We were on the roadside, and only thing was that our determination and determination for our nation.
You know, there's an aspect that you'd raised, Vivek bhai, about an entire ecosystem denying the harsh reality of Kashmir. Is that ecosystem trying to defame you even now, or trying to bury that hard truth even today?
I think now they will do it more.
They will do it more.
I have a feeling they'll do it more, because earlier they could pass it off saying, okay, it's a film, it's propaganda, and he has taken liberty. But now they have the testimonials of the victims. You have Girjaji's brother talking. You have the lady who stitched her father's body after he was killed, her interview, her testimonies. You have testimony of a boy whose parents, Pranaji's son,
yeah.
whose parents were killed and thrown into Jhelum. Okay, I have those evidences, and forget all that. These people have political agenda. Terrorism is a big industries. These people are beneficiaries of terrorism industry, so they'll attack me. I'm willing to take it. I have come here with full knowledge and awareness that this is going to happen. But I have a very important question to ask. Nobody has asked this before. Justice Neelkant Ganju
Yes.
gave a verdict against Maqbool Bhatt,
Yes.
who kidnapped and killed Indian intelligence officers, bank manager, and besides that, he was one of the biggest terrorists
Yes.
of all times. He was shot in broad daylight on the market of Srinagar,
Yes.
whose photographs are, just now I was seeing in the promo, his dead body is lying
Yes.
there with pool of blood. There are photos where the terrorists with guns were going in circle around him saying Allahu Akbar and all those kinds, celebrating it. I have the evidence and testimony of Dr. Surinder Kaul. Terrorists came and threw Justice Neil. I hope Chandrachud ji is listening to this. I hope Chief Justice of India is listening to this. They threw his body like this in the hospital. On that day in that hospital, everybody had gone for namaz. There was a young doctor whose name is Dr. Surinder Kaul, who is one of the founders of Kashmiri Pandit Global Diaspora, and who actually asked me to make this film. He was the only doctor. He actually lifted him like this and he put him on the table. The minute he put him on the table, he heard 3 metallic sound, ton, 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 and 3 bullets fell off. I shot that scene, did not include in the film. Yesterday, Anand Ranganathan posted it. That scene, it's available on Anand Ranganathan, Dr. Anand Ranganathan's site. Can you believe it? Despite that, the Supreme Court of India wants evidence. Don't do it for me, don't do it for Palkol, do it for the Justice Neelkant Ganju. He was a judge of High Court, not an ordinary man. Yes. How can the Chief Justice of India and the Supreme Court be blind to an evidence which is available on your TV right now?
And this evidence, you were there on ground. You've documented the activities of those radical Islamist terrorists, and there are testimonies, there are confessions, there are eyewitness accounts.
Yes.
और क्या था सर जो evidence के तौर पर आज भी इस्तेमाल हो सकता है in that quest for justice?
देखिए, you have the story of Rubaiyah Sayyed's kidnapping.
Yes.
Now, Neelkant Ganju was shot dead on the 4th of November, 89.
Yes.
And on the 8th of December, meaning 1 month and 4 days later, Rubaiyah was kidnapped and released on the 13th of December. So when I went on the 9th morning to Srinagar to cover Rubaiyah's kidnapping and the story around it, one boy confessed to me on camera, and the footage is with you, कि जी हमने नीलकंठ गंजू को मारा क्योंकि उसने मकबूल भट्ट को हमने बहुत उसको वार्निंग भी दी. अच्छा, मकबूल भट्ट को तो फांसी दी
जी,
दैट द सुप्रीम कोर्ट अपहेल्ड.
यस,
इट वाज नॉट ओनली द हाई कोर्ट.
सही बात.
और उसने हमारे खिलाफ शिवसेना को लगा दिया. अब शिवसेना श्रीनगर वैली में नहीं थी, उसने हमारे खिलाफ शिवसेना को लगा दिया. हमें वार्निंग भी दी, वो नहीं सुधरा, हमने मार दिया. द कन्फेशन इज विद यू.
अरे आपको बताऊं, two parties which can play a very critical role in this is we, I am Buddha, हमारी जो foundation है, and India Today Group. Because suddenly I remember यासीन मलिक का एक इंटरव्यू है for आज तक और India Today, very old interview, in which he has accepted that yes, I have killed because I got the orders, so I killed.
Oh, yes.
He's saying it, I killed Pandits, ऐसा बोला उसने. अब इससे ज्यादा एविडेंस आपको क्या चाहिए कि वो किलर इज सेइंग? आई थिंक द ओनली वे फॉरवर्ड इज दैट वी शुड प्रेशर ऑन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट टू स्टार्ट सुओ मोटो इंक्वायरी ऑफ दिस.
So we need to have all facts in public domain. We need to have all facts in public domain and for action to be taken. But is this even possible? आपकी जो testimonies है, are these against unnamed people कि कहाँ हैं वो लोग आज पता नहीं, अरे वो तो किसी के हाथ में वो जो होता है ना टेररिज्म है, इंडस्ट्री है, हमें नहीं मालूम कौन था वो आतंकवादी. और can those perpetrators be identified? Perpetrators within our country. पाकिस्तान है, ISI है, लेकिन हमारे देश में भी तो एक इकोसिस्टम है. Can they be identified?
देखिए, where there is a will, there will be a way. Meaning जब World War II खत्म हो गई तो ज्यूज ने ट्रैक कर करके कोई 86 साल का बुढ़ा वॉर क्रिमिनल अर्जेंटीना में था.
सही बात है.
ट्रैक मतलब इन द सेंस कि व्हेन यू हैव द विल you will make the effort and then God willing you succeed.
कौल साहब, एविडेंस अगर है उसको पीस टुगेदर करके केस बन सकते हैं परपेट्रेटर्स और उस पूरे इकोसिस्टम के खिलाफ जिसने आतंकवाद को इतनी शह दी.
Most of the terrorists are alive.
Most of the terrorists are alive.
Most of the terrorists who
Gun-wielding
did this are alive. Bit Karate is alive. Yasin Malik is alive. So we can have, there are others also. Mushtaq Latram is alive, and the main people are alive. Few have gone. So, and the government of India has also evidence. If we know because field workers of RAW and intelligence, they had all the information, and if they will dig this information, they will come with more evidence. But Kashmir is not that big place, so yes, we know locally who is the person behind it. So everybody knew who is doing it and who is actually doing it. And so it was Jammu Kashmir Liberation Front who started this, and then Hizbul Mujahideen and others followed it.
कश्मीर की लीडरशिप क्या वो will they try to once again discredit your effort, or now when people rise with these testimonies out in public domain with corroborative evidence being there, they will be forced to look within?
Of course, and I was in Kashmir recently, just a week back, and for the first time I went to Shankaracharya temple and I tried to move freely, though I am not allowed to. I met lots of Kashmiri young Muslim boys and girls, and I am in touch with them for a very long time. They also contributed very heavily into this film. And contrary to popular belief, a lot of my fans are actually Muslim people. People don't know that.
They're all Indians, absolutely.
Yeah,
every Indian would want justice.
The problem is today the Kashmiri youth is saying that all these people must be punished. They are, but they also say one thing. I don't know whether I should. They also say with them, all these Gupkar Road politicians should also be punished because उन्हीं ने पाल पोस के इनको बड़ा किया है, for which we are paying the price. That everybody thinks that we support terrorism. We don't. We want to be part of mainstream India, but until and unless these people go behind the bars, Kashmir justice will never happen in Kashmir.
The truth needs to emerge. Justice needs to be done. But Khalsa, would real justice actually be for all of you to go back to your homes, for you to once again have that library with 5,000 books, so that knowledge in that land of Ma Sharda, knowledge
we are the we are aboriginal of Kashmir, and Kashmir is in our heart, mind and soul. We are living in Kashmir for more than 10,000 years. And what is Indian culture? The foundation of Indian culture and civilization is from Sharda civilization. And so we will definitely go back. We are 100% sure about it. We will fight for it, and we will make Kashmir one of the most prosperous, peaceful place in the world.
I will let that be the last word on this part of the show. Vivek Agnihotri, Manoj Raghuvanshi and Utpal Kaul for joining me here on this India Today special. Many thanks.